Hey, what's happening, my dudes? My name is Kevin Duty, and I figured today we would just have a little chit chat. Talk about some fixed blades, talk about some other random knife related things. This is kind of, I'm envisioning this is kind of what a live for me would look like if I had more subscribers, but there's only 40 of you right now, so I don't know, if there's really a point in going live at this point. My plan is when I hit 100 subscribers to do a live event and to give away some items. So make sure you keep your eyes open for that. I'm definitely going to be doing that. I'm going to be giving away a knife or two and some other little goodies that I've already started accumulating. So, do all the good stuff for me, like, subscribe, all that jazz. My goal is 100 subscribers, and I think it's doable. So, I figured this might be cool to talk about. This is a fixed blade knife that was given to my grandpa from his great-grandpa, and then given to me by my grandpa. This knife is, I believe, made in Finland. My great-great-grandparents were from Finland. And, oh yeah, you can actually see right there. What does it say? It's in Finnish, but it does say Finland right there. Not sure if you'll be able to see that, but there it is. So this is a pretty cool little knife. It's pretty big. Let me just check the blade length out here. We're talking 5 5/8 inches, so pretty long. No guard on this knife. This strikes me as maybe a fillet knife or something like that. Maybe not. Maybe it's just a hunting knife or whatever. But the scabbard is really unique. The sheath is really unique. This is these kind of elements on the sheath are very typical Finland kind of aesthetics. They have a lot of this type of geometry going on, particularly in their, at least the ones that I've seen in their knives and their knife sheaths. So I don't know a whole lot about this knife. I wish I knew more. There's a little emblem there. There's the letter M. I'm not exactly sure what that stands for. But now that I think about it, I should probably type this into a translator, this text here, just to see what it means. And there is some etching or some engraving down here on the blade. So pretty cool, really cool. I thought about cleaning this up and trying to get it, a little better looking, but I'm worried that I'm gonna ruin it. I've never sharpened this thing. I really haven't touched it or used it much at all. I'm just scared I'm gonna do something bad to it that I'll regret. But so I think I'll. I mean, would it do much harm to just take some Scotch-Brite to the blade? I wonder. Probably not. It's something to think about. So that's pretty interesting. So I don't own a whole lot of fixed blades, but I do make fixed blades. I've made 2 so far, and I've got both of them here. This one here was the first knife I've ever made. Made the sheath as well. It's a pretty cool little guy. It's just a small, EDC friendly type fixed blade. We have a blade length of, where are my inches at? We have a blade length of about 2.5 inches and an overall length of 5 3/4 inch. So yeah, pretty small. Really, really happy with how the ergonomics turned out. Cut some jimping on the spine up here. Really, really comfortable to hold. Really comfortable. Just the way this handle kind of, it's thinner here up towards the heel of the blade, and then it widens out and thickens out towards the back of the knife. It's really comfortable. The steel is 5160, which it's been hardened and tempered. This is my first attempt at a knife, and I didn't do a horrible job with the heat treat and the tempering. It doesn't hold an edge, amazingly well. Not as well as, obviously not as well as S45VN, S30V. I would say the edge retention is comparable to maybe like an AUS 8, AUS 10 maybe. So not amazing, but I think for my first try, and for a fixed blade like this, that's totally acceptable. Yeah, really, really happy with this. I like this design. I think I'll probably make a few more, just like this one. The handle is black linen micarta with brass pins. I think the micarta turned out pretty good. It feels great. Kind of grippy. It's not super smooth, so I have no fear of this slipping out of my hand at all. Let's just say that. I added a little sharpening choil there. I was thinking about making it a bit bigger, which I might still do. It's pretty tiny. Yeah, I'll probably enlarge that a bit. My bevels are fairly even, as you can see. This one actually looks a little better. This bevel looks a little better than this one. I'm working with the bare minimum of tools in my shop right now. I don't have a legit belt sander. I have a little a little handheld belt sander that's about this big, and that's what I use to grind in my bevels. So it's not perfect by any means, but I think I did a pretty damn good job, if I can say so myself. The second fixed blade I ever made, which I just finished recently, is this bad boy. So a bit of a different design, a little bit larger than the first one. It's comfortable, man. Very comfortable. I think more comfortable than the first one I made. I made a pretty nice choil here and another deep secondary finger groove here. So my pointer finger locks in there, and the rest of my fingers are just form perfectly right in this area. Very, very comfortable to hold. I really, really am happy with how that turned out. I used some green layered micarta on this one. I think you can probably see the layers there running down. And same brass pins. And actually on this one I tried my first swedge, which is here. A swedge is where you can see a little bit has been ground away on either side towards the tip, and that just helps it thin out towards the tip, a little bit more gradually, and it also looks good. I actually got those pretty even, which I was happy with. Same kind of steel, 5160, hardened and tempered. And I believe I got the heat treat a little bit better on this one. I changed up my temperatures a little bit, and this one holds an edge a bit better than the first one. So I'm happy with this one. I still need to make a sheath for it. So let's put them side by side here. You can see the difference. So yeah, I'm really, really happy. I've always wanted to make a knife as long as I can remember. And I finally got the tools and the knowledge to do it, and I just went for it without a whole lot of well, I can't say that. I did a ton of research before I started, and I'm a welder, so I'm familiar with working with metal. I've been working with metal for quite a long time, but this is a different type of metal working. So I had to do a ton of research. I've watched hours and hours and hours of videos on YouTube about knife making, reading forums, asking advice from other knife makers with more experience. So I'm very happy. I'm going to keep making these things, and until I come up with a design I really, really like, and I like both of these, but I want to keep trying different designs until I come up with one that I think is, number one, not too difficult, and number two, that it's just a very solid design, so that I can start making batches of maybe 5 to 10 of them at a time. That's the goal, so I can start selling them. So let me know what you guys think, man. I'm totally open to criticisms. If any of you know more about this than I do, I'm sure some of you do. So totally open to criticisms, tips, anything you got for me. I will gladly take any advice that you may have. Gladly. You can check out this little guy. This is the Essie Azula. I like this knife. I haven't carried it too much. I don't know. I like to sometimes carry a fixed blade at work, but what ends up happening is I'll be crawling underneath a truck to weld something, or I'm in a tight space, and inevitably the knife gets caught on something and it messes up the clip. It bends it, which happened on this one. I was able to bend it back and get it, almost perfect again. But that's kind of one of the reasons I don't carry fixed blades at work very often. I will absolutely, when I'm camping or hiking, I will absolutely have a fixed blade on me. But at work, not so much. But I really like this knife. I really do. Very light. I have the skeletonized version with I just wrapped paracord around it. You can get micarta and G10 handle scales for this knife for relatively cheap. But I decided I would try out this first, and it is pretty comfortable. You can also just take it off and have just the skeleton. If you want even a thinner profile, or you want to use it as a neck knife, maybe you can absolutely do that. So yeah, really nice, light, fixed blade knife, very sharp. The warranty on SE knives is amazing. You can send them a snapped in half blade, and without any questions, they will send you a new one. So that's pretty amazing. I'm not aware of a warranty like that anywhere else in the knife world. So that's a very good reason to pick yourself up an SE knife. I believe this is one of the smallest knives that they have. They have a lot of big, camp knives, machetes, mostly camp knives, I would say, more oriented towards, outdoor use, not really a lot of tactical stuff. But that's what I like. That's right up my alley. So, nice blade. Nice sheath, too. Really good retention on the sheath. Snaps in there very well. It's definitely not coming out at all. I carry this knife in my truck. This is my truck knife, and I just put this carabiner on it, and I hang it off of my shifter. So it's just dangling right there by my knee as I'm driving, in case I ever got robbed from my window, or something happened. I could just reach down easily and pop it out and stab a mofo. I don't know if I would actually do that, but you go through those scenarios in your mind. At least I do, and I feel better at least having something if I needed it and decided to use it, if I absolutely had to, in that way. So yeah, there it is, the Essie Azula 1, I believe it's the Azula 1, because there is another version of this that's just slightly bigger. I think it's just a half-inch bigger, which is the Azula 2. This is my, I guess this is a fixed blade. Yeah, I mean, this is my little package opener knife. I had some scrap 5160 from these knives, and I just decided to make a little sheep's foot blade for opening packages. It's very, very, very sharp. Very sharp. It's great for opening packages. That sheep's foot blade, just a great shape for ripping into things. So that's my little package opener. One thing I wanted to bring to your guys' attention, if you didn't know this already, I was watching a video a while back on freehand sharpening. It was from a, very popular guy. It was an old video, probably from the early 2000s, but he was a very reputable knife sharpener. And he has these whole videos you can get on DVD that walk you through the hand sharpening process using stones. And one thing he said that really stuck with me, and I've been doing it ever since, is he said, when you're checking the sharpness of a blade, a lot of people do this. They rub their finger or thumb across the blade this way. He said that is not an accurate way to test the sharpness of a blade. How you actually want to do it... Oh, my dog's whining. What's up, buddy? Quiet down. Papa's almost done. Okay? He said how you actually want to do it is you put your thumb on the spine, you place 3 fingers on the blade here, and you slowly, very, very lightly, run your fingertips up and down the blade. Very lightly. And if you do it with every knife you come across, you will eventually be able to tell when a knife is very, very sharp. You will feel it kind of biting into the very first layer of your skin. It doesn't leave a mark, at least one that you can see. But yeah, that's. I mean, it's been very, very accurate for me. And if you do it enough, you will be able to tell the difference. You'll be able to feel it biting into the top layer of your skin, and when it does that, you know that it's very sharp. For example, well, I don't really have a dull knife right now. Oh, this one, yeah. This knife, for example, this is just a little crappy buck knockoff. When I do that, I mean, if I put a little bit more pressure, I can feel it biting in. But if I put the same amount of pressure on my fingertips as I did on this blade, you will be able to tell the difference. It does not bite into the skin. So, just a cool little trick. Some people shave hair, which I do that sometimes too. Just if I want to know if it's shaving sharp. But this is a real good test. Every knife you pick up, run your fingers across it like this. Trust me. After you do it with 20, 30 knives, you'll have the touch and you'll know. As soon as you run your fingers down it like this, you'll know if it's sharp or not. So just figured I'd share that if you guys didn't know. It's worked really well for me. All right, I think that'll do it. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. And we're at 40 subscribers. We're gonna make it to 100. I'm very confident. We're gonna do it, and I'm very excited because I want to give you guys stuff. And there's only gonna be 100 of you, so your chances of winning are gonna be pretty good. So thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for the support, and I'll see you in the next one. Adios.